Turtles are some of the most fascinating creatures on our planet, and their reproductive behavior always attracts attention. This ancient family of animals has existed on Earth for over 200 million years, and over this long period, they have developed unique reproductive methods that vary depending on the species, habitat, and even age. One of the most interesting aspects of their reproduction is how many eggs a turtle lays at once. Today, we'll take a detailed look at this process. Before we discuss the number of eggs, it's important to understand how turtles select a nesting site. This is a crucial part of the process because the choice of a nesting site influences the survival of the offspring. Most turtles lay their eggs on land, typically in sandy or clay areas. This is especially true for sea turtles, which may travel thousands of kilometers to reach the beach where they were born and lay their eggs. Land-dwelling turtles, such as star tortoises and Greek tortoises, often nest in forests, steppes, or open areas, selecting safe and warm spots where the temperature is optimal for egg incubation. Once the site is chosen, the female turtle begins to dig a hole with her front legs, where the eggs will be deposited. The depth of the hole is crucial for maintaining the right temperature and humidity for the developing embryos. Now, let's discuss how many eggs a turtle lays at once. The number of eggs varies significantly depending on the species, as well as the turtle's age, health, and environmental conditions. These turtles lay between 50 and 200 eggs in a single nesting event. For example, the green sea turtle typically lays around 100 eggs at once, while larger species like the leatherback sea turtle may lay up to 200 eggs. These eggs have a tough outer shell, which helps protect the embryos from external factors like sun exposure or predators. These turtles lay far fewer eggs. For example, species like the Mediterranean tortoise typically lay between 4 and 10 eggs, while larger land tortoises may lay up to 30 eggs. These eggs are usually smaller, and the number of eggs is generally lower than that of sea turtles. Interestingly, many turtles lay eggs multiple times throughout the breeding season. Some species follow a strategy known as nesting. In this case, a female turtle may lay eggs several times over the course of weeks or months, giving the offspring a better chance of survival despite unfavorable conditions. After laying the eggs, the female turtle buries them in the sand or soil and leaves the nesting site. This is a critical moment. Turtles do not guard their eggs after laying them, nor do they care for the incubation process. Incubation occurs naturally due to the surrounding temperature and humidity. Typically, the incubation period lasts anywhere from 50 to 100 days, depending on the species and environmental conditions. Environmental temperature plays a decisive role in determining the sex of the hatchlings. If the temperature in the nest is low, mostly males will hatch, while higher temperatures will result in more females. This phenomenon is known as temperature-dependent sex determination. In this way, turtles can adapt to changes in the environment, but at the same time, this makes their offspring vulnerable to climate change and rising temperatures. Most turtles reach sexual maturity between the ages of 5 and 20 years. For example, sea turtles begin to reproduce around 20 years of age, while land tortoises may begin to breed at 5 to 10 years old. Turtles are known for their longevity. Some species can live up to 100 years or more, which also influences their reproductive strategy. In their younger years, turtles may lay fewer eggs, but as they age, their reproductive capacity increases. A fascinating feature of sea turtles is that they return to the very beaches where they were born to lay their eggs. This phenomenon is called thallopatry. Thus, sea turtles make long journeys across the ocean to lay their eggs on familiar beaches. As we can see, the number of eggs a turtle lays at once depends on its species and the surrounding conditions. Sea turtles lay significantly more eggs than land tortoises, and their eggs have protective mechanisms, like a tough outer shell. However, regardless of the species, the reproductive process of turtles is always incredibly interesting and complex, and each female, despite her ancient lineage, does everything possible to ensure the survival of her offspring. Understanding how many eggs a turtle lays at once helps us gain a better understanding of these fascinating creatures and their ecological needs. Whether on a sandy beach or in a dry steppe, turtles continue to maintain the balance of nature, and their future depends on how we care for the conservation of their natural habitats.